Imagine sitting down at the end of a long day, feeling tired, busy, and slightly frustrated, yet unable to clearly say what you actually accomplished. Your phone shows hours of activity, messages sent, tabs open, and notifications answered, but deep inside, there's a quiet question. Did I really do something meaningful today? This feeling is not because you are lazy or incapable. It is because the world has trained your mind to stay distracted. This audiobook is not about working harder or longer. It is about working deeper. In the next few minutes, you will discover why focus has become the most powerful skill of our time, why distraction is silently stealing years of your life, and how a small change in the way you work can completely transform your career, confidence, and sense of purpose. This is a story of deep work, a way of thinking and living that separates those who stay busy from those who truly succeed. If you have ever felt overwhelmed, unfocused, or stuck despite putting in effort, stay with me, because what you are about to hear may change the way you work and live forever. What deep work really means. Deep work is the ability to give your complete attention to one important task and stay fully present with it, without allowing distractions to break your focus. It means choosing depth over noise in a world that constantly demands your attention. When you practice deep work, you are not checking your phone every few minutes, not switching between apps, and not letting small interruptions control your mind. Instead, you are consciously deciding to slow down and put all your mental energy into the work that truly matters. This kind of focus allows your brain to think clearly, connect ideas deeply, and solve problems at a higher level. In deep work, time often feels different. You may look up and realize that hours have passed, yet you feel energized instead of tired. This is because meaningful focus gives your mind a sense of purpose. Deep work is where real progress is made, where skills are sharpened, and where high-quality results are created. It is not about working longer hours. It is about working with intention. At first, deep work can feel challenging because your brain is used to constant stimulation, but with practice, it becomes a powerful habit. Over time, deep work builds confidence, self-respect, and a quiet pride in your work. It helps you move beyond being busy all day and instead become someone who produces work that has real value and lasting impact. Focus is a new superpower in today's world. Focus has become one of the rarest and most powerful abilities a person can have. We live in a constant stream of notifications, messages, emails, and endless content fighting for our attention every second. Most people don't even realize how often their focus is being stolen throughout the day. Their mind is always jumping, from phone to laptop, from one thought to another, never staying in one place long enough to do something truly meaningful. This is why the person who can sit down, block out the noise, and focus deeply stands out immediately. That level of focus allows you to think more clearly, learn faster, and create better results than others who are always distracted. While others are reacting, you are building. While others are scrolling, you are growing. Focus gives you an unfair advantage because it helps you do high-quality work in less time. It turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Over time, deep focus builds confidence because you see real progress in your life. You begin to trust your ability to concentrate, to finish what you start, and to handle difficult tasks. In a distracted world, focus is not just a skill. It is a superpower that makes you rare, valuable, and hard to replace. Shallow work keeps you busy, not successful. Shallow work is the kind of work that fills your day but leaves you feeling empty at the end of it. It includes things like answering emails all day, attending meetings with no clear outcome, checking messages again and again, and scrolling through social media while telling yourself you're staying updated. These activities make you feel busy and sometimes even important, but they rarely create real progress in your life or career. At the end of the day, you may feel tired, yet you cannot clearly point to anything meaningful you have created. Shallow work is easy to do and easy to repeat, which is why it slowly takes over your time. It does not challenge your mind, it does not help you grow new skills, and it does not move you closer to your long-term goals. The danger of shallow work is not that it is useless, but that it gives the illusion of productivity. You feel like you are working hard, but deep down, you know you are not moving forward. Real success comes from work that requires thinking, focus, and effort, work that is uncomfortable but rewarding, When you reduce shallow work and make space for deeper tasks, you stop running in circles and start building something that truly matters. Deep work builds high-value skills. High-value skills are not built by accident, and they are never built in a distracted state of mind. Skills that truly change your life, like coding, writing, designing, problem-solving, or deep thinking, require long periods of focused effort. Deep work creates the mental space where real learning happens. When you focus deeply, your brain is forced to struggle, think, and adapt, and that is exactly how new skills are formed. Shallow attention may help you understand something on the surface, but deep focus is what turns knowledge into mastery. During deep work, you begin to notice patterns, make connections, and understand details that most people miss because they never slow down enough to truly learn. This is why people who practice deep work grow faster and become more valuable over time. They are not smarter, they are simply more focused. Deep work allows you to push past confusion and discomfort, which is where real growth happens. With every focus session, your confidence increases because you can see yourself improving. Over time, these small moments of deep focus compound into powerful skills that open doors, create opportunities, and give you control over your future. Multitasking is an illusion. Multitasking feels productive, but in reality, it is one of the biggest lies we believe about how our brain works. When you think you're doing multiple important tasks at the same time, your brain is not truly focusing on all of them. It is simply switching back and forth very quickly, and every switch costs you energy, clarity, and time. Each time you move from one task to another, your mind needs a few moments to refocus, and those moments slowly drain your mental strength. This is why multitasking often leaves you feeling tired, stressed, and unfocused, even when you haven't done anything truly difficult. Important work requires depth, and depth requires attention. When your focus is divided, the quality of your work drops, mistakes increase, and learning becomes shallow. Over time, multitasking trains your brain to become restless, making it harder to sit still and concentrate on one thing. Deep work is the opposite of multitasking. It allows your mind to settle, think clearly, and produce better results with less effort. When you choose to focus on one task at a time, you not only protect your energy, but also give yourself the chance to do your best work and feel satisfied with what you create. Focus is a trainable skill. Focus is not something you are born with or without. It is a skill that can be trained and strengthened over time, just like a muscle in the body. Many people believe they are naturally bad at focusing, but in reality, their focus has simply never been trained properly. Every time you sit down and try to concentrate, even for a short period, you are exercising your ability to focus. At first, it may feel uncomfortable and difficult because your mind is used to constant stimulation and quick rewards. Your thoughts may wander, and distractions may feel impossible to resist. But this struggle is a sign of growth. Just like muscles become sore before they grow stronger, your focus improves through effort and repetition. With regular practice, your attention span increases. Distractions lose their power, and deep thinking becomes easier. Over time, you begin to notice that you can stay with difficult tasks longer and with more calm. This builds confidence because you realize that focus is under your control. By training your focus daily, even in small sessions, you slowly transform your ability to do meaningful work and take charge of your mental energy. Distraction is a modern addiction. Distraction has quietly become one of the most powerful addictions of modern life, even though many people don't recognize it as one. Social media, constant alerts, and endless notifications train your brain to seek quick pleasure and avoid deep, difficult thinking. Every like message or update gives a small burst of satisfaction, and over time, your brain starts craving these easy rewards. As a result, focusing on challenging tasks begins to feel uncomfortable and boring. Instead of sitting with a problem and thinking it through, your mind looks for an escape. This habit slowly weakens your ability to concentrate and makes deep work feel exhausting. What makes this addiction dangerous is that it feels normal and socially accepted. Everyone is checking their phone, so it doesn't seem harmful, but the cost is high. You lose patience, clarity, and the ability to stay with meaningful work. Breaking free from distraction is not about quitting technology completely. It is about taking back control. When you reduce unnecessary alerts and create space for silence, your mind slowly relearns how to focus, think deeply, and enjoy the satisfaction that comes from real progress instead of constant digital noise. Boredom is not the enemy. Boredom is often seen as something negative, something we must escape from as quickly as possible. But in reality, boredom plays an important role in building a strong and focused mind. The moment we feel even a little bored, most of us reach for our phone without thinking. This habit teaches our brain that it never has to sit still or face silence. Over time, this weakens our ability to concentrate and makes deep thinking feel uncomfortable. When you learn to sit with boredom instead of running from it, you train your mind to slow down and stay present. In those quiet moments, your brain begins to rest, reset, and organize thoughts more clearly. Boredom creates space for reflection, creativity, and deeper understanding. It helps you become comfortable without constant stimulation, which is essential for deep work. At first, boredom may feel uneasy, but with practice, it becomes a source of mental strength. By allowing boredom into your life, you give your mind the freedom to focus longer, think deeper, and work with greater clarity and calm. Deep work creates confidence. Deep work builds confidence in a quiet and powerful way. When you sit down and commit to a hard task, especially one that requires real thinking and effort, you are making a promise to yourself. And every time you keep that promise by finishing the work, your self-trust grows. Unlike shallow tasks that give quick but empty satisfaction, deep work pushes you slightly beyond your comfort zone. It challenges your mind, tests your patience, and demands your full attention. When you complete such work, you don't just feel relief, you feel pride. You begin to realize that you are capable of handling difficult problems and staying focused even when things feel uncomfortable. This experience slowly changes how you see yourself. Instead of doubting your abilities, you start trusting your discipline and focus. Over time, these small wins add up and create real confidence. Not the kind that comes from praise or approval, but the kind that comes from knowing you can rely on yourself to do meaningful work and see it through to the end. Real success is quiet. Real success is rarely loud or dramatic. It is not built through constant talking, posting, or trying to look important in front of others. Most meaningful achievements are created in silence, during long hours of focused effort, when no one is watching. While the world celebrates noise and quick attention, true progress happens in calm, private moments where a person is deeply committed to their work. Deep work requires patience, and patience often means working without immediate rewards, praise, or recognition. This is why many people give up early. They want fast results and public approval. But those who understand deep work are willing to stay quiet, consistent, and focused for a long time. They show up every day, improve a little, and trust the process even when it feels slow. Over time, this quiet discipline turns into strong skills, valuable knowledge, and meaningful results. When success finally becomes visible, it may look sudden to others, but in reality, it is a result of countless silent hours of effort. Real success does not need to shout for attention. It reveals itself through quality, impact, and lasting value built through deep, focused work. Work deeply. Working deeply means making focused work a regular part of your life, not something you do only when you have extra time or feel motivated. Deep work should be treated as a daily habit, just like eating or sleeping, because meaningful results come from consistency, not occasional effort. When you decide to work deeply, you set clear boundaries between focused time and everything else. You choose a specific time and place, remove distractions, and commit fully to the task in front of you. At first, this may feel difficult because your mind is used to interruptions and quick rewards, but with repetition, deep work becomes easier and more natural. Over time, your brain learns when it is time to focus, and you enter that state faster and with less resistance. Making deep work a habit also means protecting it. You learn to say no to unnecessary interruptions and stop treating shallow tasks as urgent. When deep work becomes part of your routine, your productivity increases, your skills improve, and your work gains real value. Instead of reacting to the world all day, you begin creating something meaningful on your own terms, one focus session at a time. Create rituals for focus. Creating rituals for focus means giving your brain clear signals that it is time to do deep work. When you work in the same place at the same time and follow the same simple rules, your mind learns to switch into focus mode much faster. You don't waste energy deciding when to start or how to begin, because the ritual makes a decision for you. This could mean sitting at the same desk every morning, starting work at a fixed hour, turning off your phone, and opening only what you need for the task. These small actions may seem simple, but together they create a powerful routine that reduces resistance and distraction. Rituals remove uncertainty and help your brain feel safe and ready to concentrate. Over time, just entering your focus space can put you into a deep working state automatically. This consistency builds discipline without stress and makes deep work feel natural instead of forced. By creating focus rituals, you stop relying on motivation and start relying on structure, which is far more reliable for producing meaningful work day after day. Remove temptations before starting. Relying on willpower alone is one of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to focus. Willpower is limited, and the more distractions around you, the faster it gets exhausted. This is why removing temptations before you start working is so important. Instead of fighting the urge to check your phone or open social media, make it impossible or inconvenient to do so. Put your phone in another room. Turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and create a clean work environment. These small actions protect your focus before it is tested. When distractions are removed in advance, your mind can relax and fully engage with the task instead of constantly resisting temptation. This makes deep work feel lighter and more sustainable. By designing your environment to support focus, you stop depending on self-control and start working with your brain instead of against it. Over time, this approach builds stronger focus habits and helps you enter deep work more easily and stay there longer. Set clear goals for each session. Starting a deep work session without a clear goal is like starting a journey without knowing the destination. When you know exactly what you want to finish before you begin, your mind feels calm and directed. Clear goals remove confusion and prevent your attention from drifting. Instead of thinking, "I'll work for some time," you decide, "I will finish this chapter," or "I will solve this problem." This clarity gives your brain a target to focus on. It also makes deep work more satisfying because you can clearly see progress. When the goal is specific and realistic, your focus becomes sharper and your energy is used wisely. You are less likely to get distracted because you know what matters in that moment. At the end of the session, completing the goal gives a sense of achievement, which builds motivation and confidence. Over time, setting clear goals for each session turns deep work into a powerful and repeatable process that consistently produces meaningful results. Embrace boredom. Embracing boredom means learning to be comfortable without constant stimulation and stopping the habit of filling every empty moment with your phone. Today, even a few seconds of waiting feels uncomfortable, so we immediately reach for a screen. This trains our brain to expect instant entertainment and makes deep thinking feel difficult. When you constantly escape boredom, your mind loses the ability to stay focused on challenging tasks. By choosing to sit with boredom, while waiting, walking, or resting, you retrain your brain to slow down and stay present. These quiet moments help your mind recover from overload and prepare for deep work. At first, boredom may feel uncomfortable, but with practice, it becomes a source of mental strength. You begin to notice your thoughts more clearly and develop patience. Embracing boredom is not about doing nothing. It is about allowing your mind to rest and reset so that when it's time to work deeply, your focus is stronger, calmer, and more controlled. Train your mind to wait. Training your mind to wait means learning to pause instead of instantly reacting to every urge for comfort or distraction. In modern life, we are used to getting everything immediately. Entertainment, information, and satisfaction are just one tap away. This habit weakens our patience and makes it hard to focus on work that takes time and effort. Delayed gratification teaches your brain that it does not need instant rewards to feel okay. When you resist the urge to check your phone or switch tasks, you build mental strength. Each small moment of waiting trains your focus and improves self-control. Over time, your mind becomes calmer and more resilient. You stop feeling restless during difficult work and gain the ability to stay with a task until it is complete. Learning to wait may feel uncomfortable at first, but it creates long-term benefits by sharpening your focus, increasing patience, and helping you do meaningful work with greater discipline and clarity. Stop constant stimulation. Constant stimulation keeps the brain busy, but never allows it to think deeply. Music, videos, notifications, and endless content fill every quiet moment, leaving no space for real thought. When your brain is always stimulated, it stays in a reactive mode, jumping from one input to another without processing anything fully. Silence, on the other hand, gives your mind room to slow down, reflect, and connect ideas. It is in quiet moments that clarity appears and deeper understanding forms. At first, silence may feel uncomfortable because the brain is used to noise, but this discomfort is a sign that your mind is adjusting. By reducing constant stimulation and allowing moments of quiet, you help your brain recover and strengthen its ability to focus. Over time, silence becomes a powerful tool that supports deep work, creativity, and clear thinking, allowing you to produce better results with less mental effort. Quit social media. Quitting social media does not always mean deleting every app forever. It means being honest about whether a platform truly helps your life or career. Many social media tools promise connection and information, but in reality, they often steal time, attention, and mental energy without giving much in return. Endless scrolling trains your brain to seek easy pleasure and avoid deep thinking, making focus work feel harder than it should be. When a tool does not clearly support your goals, learning, or growth, it slowly becomes a distraction disguised as usefulness. Removing such tools creates space in your mind and in your day. At first, you may feel disconnected or uncomfortable, but over time, you regain clarity, calm, and control over your attention. Without constant comparison and noise, your thoughts become clearer and your focus stronger. By intentionally quitting or limiting social media that does not serve you, you protect your most valuable resource, your attention, and make room for deeper work and a more meaningful life. Attention is your most valuable asset. Your attention is one of the most valuable things you own, even more valuable than time or money, because where your attention goes, your life follows. Every moment you spend focusing on something is an investment, and once it is gone, you can never get it back. In today's world, many companies compete to capture your attention because they know its power. If you give away carelessly, you lose the ability to focus on what truly matters. Protecting your attention means choosing carefully what deserves your mental energy and what does not. Just like money, attention should be spent intentionally on things that bring growth, learning, and meaning. When you become mindful of how you use your attention, you gain control over your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Over time, this awareness helps you build deeper focus, make better decisions, and live a more purposeful and balanced life. Being reachable all the time is a trap. Being available to everyone at every moment may look helpful and responsible, but in reality, it often destroys productivity and focus. When you are always reachable, your attention is constantly pulled away from meaningful work. Messages, emails, and calls interrupt your thinking and break the deep concentration needed to create real value. Even short interruptions can take a long time to recover from, leaving your mind scattered and tired. Over time, this habit trains your brain to stay in a reactive state, always responding instead of creating. True productivity requires protected time where you are unreachable and fully focused. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It is necessary for doing your best work. When you limit availability and choose specific times to respond, you regain control of your attention. This allows you to work deeply, think clearly, and produce higher quality results without feeling overwhelmed or constantly distracted. Drain the shallow. Draining the shallow means intentionally reducing the low-value tasks that quietly consume your time and energy every day. These tasks often feel urgent, but they rarely move your life or work forward in a meaningful way. Things like unnecessary meetings, constant emails, repeated checking of messages, and busy work can fill your schedule while leaving little room for deep, focused effort. When your day is crowded with shallow work, your mind stays tired and scattered, making it harder to concentrate on what truly matters. Draining the shallow requires honesty and courage. It means questioning how much time you really need to spend on certain tasks and learning to say no when possible. By minimizing low-value work, you create space for deep work that builds skills, clarity, and real results. Over time, this shift helps you regain control of your schedule and focus your energy on work that actually creates impact and long-term success. Schedule your day intentionally. Scheduling your day intentionally means deciding in advance how your time will be used, instead of letting distractions and shallow tasks control it. When you do not plan your day, shallow work naturally takes over because it is easy, urgent, and always demanding attention. Emails, messages, and small requests slowly fill every free moment, leaving no space for deep, meaningful work. By planning your day with purpose, you give priority to what truly matters. You choose specific times for deep work, shallow tasks, rest, and recovery. This structure brings clarity and reduces mental stress because you're no longer constantly deciding what to do next. Even if plans change, having a clear schedule helps you stay focused and intentional. Over time, this habit trains you to respect your own time and protect your attention, allowing deep work to become a natural and regular part of your daily life. Say no without guilt. Saying no without guilt is an important skill for protecting your focus and your energy. Many people say yes to every request because they fear disappointing others or appearing unhelpful. But when you say yes to everything, you slowly lose control of your time and attention. Not every request is important, and not every demand deserves your focus. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to your own priorities. Learning to say no is not about being rude or selfish. It is about being honest and respectful with your limits. When you protect your time, you create space for deep work and meaningful progress. At first, saying no may feel uncomfortable, but over time, it brings clarity and peace. You begin to focus on what truly matters, reduce stress, and work with intention instead of constantly reacting to others' needs. Measure what truly matters. Measuring what truly matters means shifting your focus from how busy you appear to the actual results you produce. In modern work culture, being busy is often mistaken for being productive. Long hours, full calendars, and constant activity can look impressive, but they do not always lead to meaningful outcomes. Real value comes from results, work that solves problems, creates impact, or moves you closer to your goals. When you judge your work by results instead of effort alone, your priorities become clearer. You stop wasting energy on tasks that only make you look active and start investing time in work that truly matters. This mindset encourages deep work because deep work produces visible, lasting results. Over time, measuring success by outcomes builds confidence, clarity, and a stronger sense of purpose, helping you focus on what truly makes a difference rather than what simply keeps you busy. Deep work creates meaning. Working deeply brings a sense of meaning that shallow, distracted effort can never provide. When you give your full attention to one important task, you feel connected to what you are doing. Your work no longer feels random or empty. It feels intentional. Deep work allows you to use your skills fully and see real progress, which creates a feeling of purpose. Instead of rushing through the day, reacting to messages and distractions, you begin to build something that matters to you. This sense of progress makes life feel more fulfilling because you are growing, learning, and improving through your effort. Over time, deep work helps you feel proud of how you spend your days. It turns work into a source of meaning rather than stress, and it reminds you that focused effort can create a life that feels purposeful and deeply satisfying. Craftsmanship brings satisfaction. Craftsmanship is a practice of caring deeply about the quality of what you create, even when no one is watching. When you focus on doing one thing well, instead of rushing through many things poorly, you experience a deep sense of satisfaction that goes beyond external rewards. This kind of work demands attention, patience, and pride in small details. As you improve your craft, you begin to feel calm and grounded because your effort has a clear purpose. There's inner peace in knowing that you gave your best and created something meaningful. Craftsmanship connects you to your work on a deeper level and turns effort into fulfillment. Over time, this commitment to quality builds self-respect and joy, reminding you that true satisfaction comes not from speed or praise, but from the quiet pride of doing meaningful work well. Your brain loves progress. Your brain feels most alive and motivated when it can clearly see progress, and deep work is what makes that progress visible. When you work deeply, you're not just passing time or completing random tasks. You're slowly moving forward, step by step, toward mastery and growth. Each focus session strengthens your skills, deepens your understanding, and brings you closer to your goals. This creates a quiet but powerful sense of satisfaction inside you. Unlike shallow work, which ends a day with confusion and exhaustion, deep work gives you a feeling of direction. You can look back and clearly see what you have improved or completed. Your brain responds positively to this sense of growth, releasing motivation and confidence that push you to keep going. Over time, these small moments of progress add up, creating momentum that changes how you feel about your work and yourself. Deep work turns effort into visible growth, giving your mind the fulfillment it naturally craves and keeping you engaged in a meaningful journey of improvement. Hard work feels good when it matters. Hard work does not always feel exhausting or painful. When the effort you put in truly matters, it can actually feel energizing and deeply satisfying. There's a big difference between being tired from meaningless busy work and feeling fulfilled after focused, meaningful effort. Deep work pushes you to use your mind fully, to think, solve, and create, and this kind of effort gives your brain a sense of purpose. When you know that your work is helping you grow, learn, or move closer to an important goal, the effort feels worth it. Even when the work is challenging, it does not drain you in the same way shallow tasks do. Instead, it leaves you with a calm sense of accomplishment. You may feel physically tired, but mentally satisfied. This happens because meaningful work aligns your effort with your values and goals. Over time, you begin to crave this kind of effort because it makes you feel alive and capable. Hard work that matters strengthens your confidence, builds resilience, and reminds you that real fulfillment comes not from comfort, but from doing work that challenges you and helps you become better than you were yesterday. Focus reduces anxiety. Anxiety often comes from a mind that feels scattered, overwhelmed, and pulled in too many directions at once. When your attention is constantly jumping between tasks, thoughts, and distractions, mental noise builds up and creates stress. Deep focus works like a calming force of mind. When you choose one task and give it your full attention, everything else fades into the background. This clarity reduces confusion and brings a sense of control. Instead of worrying about everything you need to do, you focus only on what matters right now. As you work deeply, your thoughts become organized and your breathing slows down naturally. You begin to feel grounded in the present moment. Over time, this habit of focus work trains your mind to stay calm under pressure. Focus does not just improve productivity. It creates mental peace by replacing anxiety with clarity and purpose. Your best ideas need silence. Your best ideas rarely appear in moments of noise, pressure, or constant stimulation. Creativity needs silence because silence gives your mind the space to wander, connect ideas, and think deeply without interruption. When your brain is always busy reacting to notifications, conversations, and content, it stays on the surface level. It does not get the chance to explore new thoughts or see patterns in a meaningful way. Quiet moments of focus allow your mind to slow down and go deeper. In silence, your thoughts become clearer, and ideas that were hidden under mental noise begin to rise naturally. This is why many creative breakthroughs happen during calm, uninterrupted moments, when you're fully present with your work. At first, silence may feel uncomfortable, but with time, it becomes a powerful tool for creativity. By protecting quiet time and working deeply, you create the right conditions for your best ideas to grow, evolve, and turn into something valuable and meaningful. Deep workers become leaders. Deep workers naturally grow into leaders because they focus on creating real value instead of making noise. While many people spend their energy trying to be seen, heard, or noticed, deep workers spend their time building skills, solving problems, and producing high-quality work. Leadership is not about talking the most or being the busiest person in the room. It is about impact. When you work deeply, you develop clear thinking, strong judgment, and the ability to handle complex challenges. People begin to trust your work because it is consistent and meaningful. Over time, your results speak for you. Deep workers lead by example, not by attention-seeking behavior. They bring clarity in confusing situations and solutions when others are stuck. This quiet reliability builds respect and influence naturally. In the long run, those who choose depth over distraction rise into leadership roles because they create value that others depend on, and true leadership is always built on value, not noise. Focus makes you hard to replace. Focus is what separates ordinary work from high-quality work, and high-quality work is what makes you truly valuable and hard to replace. When you work deeply, You develop skills and produce results that cannot be easily copied or automated. Anyone can respond to emails or attend meetings, but not everyone can think deeply, solve complex problems, or create something meaningful with consistency. Deep focus allows you to understand your work at a deeper level, improve your abilities over time, and deliver results that stand out. This kind of value protects your career because organizations and people depend on those who can do difficult work well. When you are known for clarity, reliability, and quality, you become someone others trust and rely on. Over time, deep work builds a strong professional identity that cannot be replaced by shortcuts or surface-level effort. By protecting your focus, you protect your future and create long-term security in your career. Deep work compounds over time. Deep work may not show dramatic results in a single day, but its true power reveals itself over time through consistent, focused effort. When you give even a small amount of deep attention every day to something important, those efforts slowly build on each other. Each focus session strengthens your skills, sharpens your thinking, and improves your ability to do high-quality work. At first, the progress may feel slow and almost invisible, which is why many people give up too early. But just like compound interest, deep work grows quietly and powerfully beneath the surface. Weeks turn into months, and months turn into years, and suddenly the difference becomes clear. While others remain stuck doing the same shallow tasks, you move forward with confidence and mastery. Small daily acts of focus create massive long-term results, shaping your abilities, your career, and your life in ways that cannot be achieved through scattered effort. Distraction costs you years. Distraction may seem harmless in the moment, but over time, it quietly steals years of your life. Every time your focus is broken, you lose more than just a few minutes. You lose momentum, clarity, and a chance to make meaningful progress. A distracted day turns into a distracted week, and before you realize it, months and years pass without real growth. Lost focus today becomes lost opportunities tomorrow because skills are not built, ideas are not completed, and potential remains unused. Distraction keeps you busy but stuck, always reacting and rarely creating. The danger is not one single distraction, but the habit of distraction repeated daily. Deep work breaks this cycle by helping you invest your attention wisely. When you protect your focus, you protect your future. Over time, choosing depth over distraction creates opportunities, growth, and results that would otherwise be lost forever. Depth beats speed in a world that celebrates speed. Deep work reminds us that slow and focused effort often wins in the long run. Moving fast may look impressive, but when speed is combined with distraction, the quality of work suffers. Fast, careless effort leads to mistakes, shallow understanding, and results that do not last. Depth, on the other hand, allows you to fully understand what you're doing and do it well. When you slow down and focus deeply, your mind becomes calm and precise. You notice details, think clearly, and make better decisions. This kind of work may take more time, but it creates stronger results that stand the test of time. Over time, deep and thoughtful effort builds mastery, confidence, and trust. While others rush and redo their work again and again, those who choose depth move forward steadily and create value that truly matters. You control your attention. Your attention is one of the few things in life that you truly control, and when you take ownership of it, your entire life begins to improve. Every day, countless things compete for your focus, but not everything deserves your mental energy. When you consciously decide where to place your attention, you stop living in reaction mode and start living with intention. Deep work teaches you that attention is a choice, not an accident. By choosing to focus on meaningful tasks instead of constant distractions, you create clarity in your thoughts and direction in your actions. Over time, this control brings a sense of calm, because your mind is no longer pulled in all directions. You feel more present, more confident, and more capable of handling challenges. When you decide what deserves your focus, you shape your habits, your work, and ultimately your future. Work with intention, not habit. Most people live and work on autopilot, repeating the same habits every day without questioning whether those habits truly serve them. They check their phones without thinking, react to messages instantly, and fill their time with familiar routines simply because it feels comfortable. Working with intention means breaking free from this automatic behavior and consciously choosing how you spend your time and energy. Instead of doing what is easiest or most familiar, you choose depth and purpose. Intentional work requires awareness. You pause, decide what truly matters, and then give it your full attention. This shift may feel uncomfortable at first because it demands effort and responsibility, but it brings powerful rewards. When you work with intention, your actions align with your goals, your focus becomes sharper, and your work gains meaning. Over time, choosing depth over default behavior transforms your habits and helps you build a life driven by purpose rather than distraction. Deep work is a lifestyle. Deep work is not something you switch on for a few hours and then forget. It is a way of living that shapes how you think, work, and make choices every day. When deep work becomes a lifestyle, you begin to value focus, clarity, and meaning over noise and constant stimulation. You become more intentional about how you spend your time, what you allow into your mind, and what you choose to ignore. This lifestyle encourages you to slow down, think deeply, and give your best energy to what truly matters. Over time, deep work influences more than just your productivity. It affects your mindset, your relationships, and your sense of purpose. You become calmer, more disciplined, and more aware of your priorities. Living a deep work lifestyle means choosing quality over quantity, depth over distraction, and long-term growth over short-term comfort. It is a quiet but powerful way to live with focus, balance, and meaning in a noisy world. Focus is freedom. Focus is true freedom because when you control your attention, you are no longer controlled by distractions, impulses, or outside demands. Most people believe freedom means having more options, but real freedom comes from choosing where your energy goes. When your attention is scattered, your life feels chaotic and reactive. But when you learn to focus deeply, you gain clarity and direction. You stop being pulled by every notification, opinion, or urge, and instead move forward with purpose. This control over attention allows you to build skills, make thoughtful decisions, and work toward long-term goals. Over time, focused attention creates opportunities and choices that would not exist otherwise. By mastering your focus, you shape your habits, your work, and your future. In this way, focus is not a limitation. It is the key to a life of freedom, clarity, and intentional growth. Choose depth, and life will reward you. Choosing depth is a decision to live and work with purpose in a world that constantly pulls you toward distraction. When you choose to work deeply, you are choosing patience over urgency, quality over speed, and meaning over noise. This choice may not bring instant rewards, and at times it may feel lonely because few people are willing to commit to deep, focused effort. But over time, life responds to depth in powerful ways. Your skills grow stronger, your thinking becomes clearer, and your confidence deepens. Opportunities begin to appear because you're creating real value, not just staying busy. The deeper you work, the more you understand yourself and your potential. This steady rise may be quiet, but it is lasting. By choosing depth again and again, you build a life shaped by focus, growth, and fulfillment. And in the end, life rewards you with progress, purpose, and success that truly matters. As we come to the end of this audiobook, remember this one simple truth. Your life changes in the direction of your focus. The more deeply you work, the more clearly you think, and the more meaningful your results become. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just choose depth one day at a time. If this audiobook helped you understand the power of focus and inspired you to work with more intention, please take a moment to like this video so it can reach more people who need it. Share it with someone who feels distracted or overwhelmed, and comment below with one idea you're going to apply from deep work in your own life. And if you want more powerful book summaries and life-changing ideas like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel Bit-Size Book English. Stay focused, choose depth, and I'll see you in the next audiobook. And thank you for listening.